So here's the factual background. Plaintiff Marcia M. Delmeyer filed a complaint against defendant Mark E. Delmeyer for divorce on grounds of irretrievable breakdown. Her allegation was that the marriage suffered an irretrievable breakdown. The complaint was filed on October the 2nd, 2020. The defendant contests this divorce. The parties were married on June 25th, 1988. So here they were married 32 years. And now we find out that there was an irretrievable breakdown in this marriage. Together they have one minor child. And I would say this, there are times that if the person who wants to file for divorce, like this unilateral divorce, on the allegation that there is an irretrievable breakdown, the court could say, well, ma'am, well, sir, you can leave. But here's the deal. You've left the marriage, you leave everything behind to the marital estate. No assets go with you. The children remain with the marital estate. You are breaking the marriage. You are breaking the marriage vow. You are breaking the marital union. And therefore, if you want to leave, this is not a prison. Walk away if that's really what you want to do. But you get nothing. You get the clothes on your back. And if your husband or if your wife wants to give you some things, that's fine. But if you want to do this, you get nothing. You do not get rewarded. In Texas, you get rewarded when you file for unilateral no-fault divorce. In many instances, because the majority of instances, unilateral no-fault divorce, as in this case, is filed by the woman. Here it was filed by Marcia M. Delmeyer. And in almost 80% of the cases, unilateral no-fault divorce is initiated by the woman. And the really sickening part about this is, if the state always says, oh, what a poor woman, we need to give her something. We need to help her as she's leaving her new life. She has left her marital vows. She may have had an affair. Maybe she has been in a tough marriage. Maybe there are grounds for a divorce. Don't lie to the court and say, well, irretrievable breakdown. That's crap. Most things that are irretrievably broken down can be united with a little bit of time and effort. Several people that I've talked with that have actually gone through no-fault divorce and then they get remarried. Now, how is that? I thought when you came before the court, you had an irretrievable breakdown. Doesn't irretrievable mean that irretrievable? And now you remarried to the same person that you were irretrievably broken from? And why does the Texas Family Code allow for a person who has been divorced from his wife or her husband the ability to remarry within 30 days? That person cannot marry anybody else. But after this irretrievably broken marriage and insupportability and everything else, they do have the ability to marry the spouse that they filed for divorce against. So irretrievable is not irretrievable. Insupportable is a made-up term. This is a term to try to give somebody comfort. This is kind of like, you know, here, have a little hot milk with some crackers and suck your thumb and I'll get you a blankie and everything's going to be okay. No, this is wrong. What's going on when you destroy marriage, you destroy families, you destroy children, you destroy not only just the immediate ones, you destroy society, and you often impact even grandchildren and many people beyond that. Our state of Texas, for example, permits no-fault divorce, even though our Texas Constitution says, Article 3, Section 5613, it says a legislature shall grant no laws, shall make no special laws granting divorce. Yet our legislature has completely ignored our Constitution. And you know what is even worse? They won't fix it. And I can talk about this because I have talked with multiple legislators down there over the last 8 years about this issue, and they look at it and they look at you with sometimes a stupid look. Well, there's nothing we could do about it. But they sure don't mind filing child support from conception and every other sort of thing that's going to destroy families. And these are supposedly our Christian conservative legislators. I expect some of the Democrats, the wild progressive ones that want to see socialism in our society to do this. I do not expect to see conservative Christians doing this. Conservative Christians who run as, we're here to fight for your families. They have not yet addressed this issue. But this is the most important issue facing our families in the state of Texas. And our legislature has completely failed. And I put this blame right now on the Republicans. We have had majorities for a long, long time. We could have done this. But we have chosen not to do this. And I will tell you one of the reasons is our Speaker of the House, currently Dade Phelan, he puts Democrats over top of the Juvenile Justice and Family Issue Committee. Democrats are not going to pass this. It's interesting though, because even some Democrats say, hey, this is the big deal. We should do something. But there are enough communists, or there are enough LGBTQ advocates. So, for example, James Talarico, he will not vote for the integrity of marriage. He came from a broken family. He was raised by a stepfather and his mom, and I don't know what his father was like. But James Talarico definitely will tell you what he's like, and he doesn't care. And James Talarico is going to be advocating for the LGBTQ people, and you know, we're going to try to get rid of all this gender stuff, all this male and female stuff in our Texas family code throughout the whole state of Texas. And then we have Gene Wu. Gene Wu, who I believe, as a Democrat, I've watched him at times. I think he practically, his ideology probably lines up with the Chinese Communist Party. I cannot say that 100%, but when I look at Gene Wu, everybody says, oh, Gene Wu loves and cares for children. Gene Wu has voted against children and what would be good for children many times, in my opinion. We have divorce attorneys who serve on the Juvenile Justice and Family Issues Committee. Now, fortunately, we got rid of 2 divorce attorneys from last time. You know, the chairperson who was the divorce attorney, that was Victoria Niave. Victoria Niave, who has had multiple issues. Victoria Niave, who has had tax issues with the state of Texas, who has lived with somebody and then couldn't decide how to, after they broke up, how to split up the house or whatever. So she owed, I heard $50,000. I never actually saw that. I knew it was in the 20,000s, but maybe it was $50,000. You know, she was able to get away with that for years and years and years. Victoria Niave, who drunk driving, had her license taken away, damaged a tree, ran into a tree, and yet for a Democrat like Victoria Niave, that is a resume enhancer. A Republican, that would be a resume breaker. For a Democrat, that is a resume enhancer. And Dade Phelan picked Victoria Niave to be chair of the Juvenile Justice and Family Issues Committee last session. This session, he's chosen Harold Dutton. And Harold Dutton, once again, a Democrat. And there are some things that Harold Dutton is okay about. I've heard him talk about things. I think he is still bought out by the Texas Family Law Foundation. Texas Family Law Foundation is a lobbying group for divorce attorneys. They are good for divorce attorneys, good for the family destruction industry, bad for families, bad for children. They have lobbyists down there, Steve and Amy Breslin. They are vulgar people. I've got plenty of tweets from them using all sorts of language that you would say, what are these people doing? They are lobbyists. They're supposed to be representing these groups, and they're cussing and swearing. And Amy looks like she's a lush at the time, and Steve looks like he's a little bit perverted as well. These are the people that have feted and celebrated Harold Dutton. Make sure that every time he runs for election, they're going to give him some money. Hey, Harold, old buddy, old pal, we're going to give you some money here. We're going to give you some money. Don't forget about us. We have David Cook. David Cook is a Republican. David Cook runs a law firm, operates a law firm that does divorce. David Cook will tell you, man, I'm a conservative Republican. I do not trust David Cook. I've testified in front of him a few times. I've seen his responses. Other people have said the same thing to me. He's now filed another bill this session, 28 pages, and something to deal with attorney fees. When you have an attorney filing a 28-page bill talking about attorney fees, there's something in there. He's going to be able to use that to probably have the state help him collect payments on attorney fees in situations of divorce. Anyway, I've digressed from the original case here. But just to say that we have a big problem in Texas as well as what they have in Massachusetts. The parties were married on June the 25th, 1988. Together they have one minor child.